Okay. So what are we going to do today is a revision for cash flow statement. Correct? I'll take it from scratch. मैं zero से चालू कर रहा हूँ. क्या क्या होता है, क्या क्या होना चाहिए, everything. बट थोड़ा सा पेस अप करेंगे बिकॉज हम लोगों ने एक्सप्लेनेशन देख लिया है. अभी खाली हम लोग रिविजन कर रहे हैं, विच इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड, रिमेंबर थिंग्स कि कैसे करना है. ओके. अच्छा, ये म्यूट तो मेरा नहीं है माइक. नहीं, मेरा म्यूट माइक नहीं है. आवाज भी आ रहा होगा. ठीक है. what is there in the chapter, what will you have to do in the chapter, वो दोनों मैं आपको बताता हूँ. The very first thing, what will be given in the question, you will be given a balance sheet of 2 years ताकि तुम कंपेयर कर सको. ठीक है. and you will be definitely given with some adjustments. You need to prepare definitely the cash flow statement and the working notes. Correct? We'll take one by one and then understand each and every concept. The cash flow statement basically comprises of 3 things. The one is your operating activity. The other one is your financing activity. And the last one is your lovely investing activity. Basically, how do I put up is, first you get the funds. So first financing, then where have you invested? That's investing, like all the assets. In short, all the liabilities is financing, all the investing is your assets. And the other one is operating expenses. For example, you do many expenses in the year. From that expenses, how much cash have you generated? That we have to see. The whole motive of the chapter is to know that where your cash has been floating here and there. Correct? Where your cash has been. And at the end of the year, how much cash you generated, how much cash you paid for, and what is the closing balance. Correct? What happens is, now the question arises that if you want to know that what is my cash inflow and outflow, why don't you go and check the cash book? Because cash book will be having each and every item of payments and receipt. That's it, done ho gaya. But in cash book I'll be having each and every item like in detail. I don't want that thing, right? I want a summarized one, that where the amount has been invested and where the amount has been paid or received. So I do not. And cash book is like cash. If you see the cash account, is like, it will be humongous. They will find thousands of transactions. I want to know at one shot that if I am selling any asset, how much cash I got from them. So I want a total amount, because in a year I might be paying, I might be making the payment for multiple assets. At one shot, I want to know that what is the amount I have paid for total in plant and machinery. If I want to know that what is the amount of depreciation the whole year, not depreciation actually, I would say, what is the amount I have collected from the shareholders at one shot. So this cash flow gives me a summary of all the cash transactions. But the thing is, here we have to do some reverse calculations also. We have discussed it in detail when we were doing that, when I given the start of the chapter. Here what I'm going to do is, first of financing and investing is done, whereby you are taking how much cash you got and how much cash you paid. That's financing. The liabilities one. What purchase you made, how much money you paid them, and what sale have you done, and how much cash you generated. That is coming in the investing and financing. That's very simple. Talking about the operating activity, here you are taking care of what is the amount you actually generated from buying and selling of goods and services. Like, that's very simple. I want to know that if my sales, see, I am assuming that all the sales is cash sales. I am having a sale of 100 rupees. I have made a purchase, say for example, 80 rupees. I will be left with 20. Other expenses are also there. Let's say operating expenses, all the operating expenses is 5, is 15. I'm just taking hypothetical numbers and all. Example ke liye. And I am having depreciation of 5 rupees. 10 will be my profit. Yes or no? And on this profit, I will be definitely asked to pay the taxes. So what I do is I provide for tax. See, when I was discussing this chapter, I told you that when you pay the tax for the company, it is a pretty huge amount. So you have to keep on keeping that amount aside, so that when the day comes that you have to pay the amount, you'll be having some amount left with you. Or else, on the day of the payment of the tax, you'll have to like search here and there. You have to take a loan and then pay the tax. You'll have to sell off any asset because it's a liability. It's a tension for you because government is not going to consider you. So here you have to keep on providing for tax. So you're not actually paying it today. You're just keeping it aside. Say for example, 50%, that is 5 rupees. And your net profit at the end of the year will be this, available for the owners. But boss, if I am not wrong, I go and check the cash balance. Now it won't be showing 5 rupees. It will be showing something more, because this depreciation is what? It's not a cash expense. It's a so the amount doesn't go out there, na. And this provision for tax, this is also not a non-cash one. This is also a non-cash one. You're just providing, you're just keeping it aside. You're not gonna pay it today. आप pay करोगे तभी पैसा जाएगा. But today you're not gonna pay, man. So here, this is a non-cash expense. Correct? So here you do the reverse calculation. Lovely. We did that in detail when we were like, So here, what will be given to you? You will be given this net profit. That is 5 rupees. You subtracted the provision. Now you will have to add back, because the money didn't actually go out of your pocket. Na? You want to find out how much money you generated. Cash, Rokada. And this also depreciation will be added because you're doing the reverse calculation.
But why would this tax be subtracted and again added?
And this is given in the question. This one is given to you in the question. You want to find out how much cash you generated. And cash generation is basically all receipts and payment. Khatam. How much you should have, how much you that also like irrelevant for us. Mere ko malum karna. I just want to know that how much cash is there in your pocket. So what will I say? I am having 100 ka sale. I paid 80, so I'll be having 20. From that I paid 5, so I'll be left with 15. So I should be having 15 in my pocket. But my profit and loss account tells me that your amount of profit is 5 rupees. Correct? And what is this chapter? What is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is cash flow. So you just understand and just track cash flow. Correct? So you need to consider all the cash activities. And all the non-cash has to be like kept aside.
That shall be added.
Jakas. Perfect. You understanding it? Chalo. Okay. Coming ahead. So basically, this operating activity, there is a system where we have that format, and we do remember that format also. So cash from the operating activity, you start with the net profit that you generated. And how did you get that? Lovely. Closing balance of profit minus opening balance of profit. You get an amount. You add all the appropriations. Now, I told you what you mean by appropriation. The appropriation means the amount that you keep aside for the future, expansion or some future contingency of some future, plans and all that. It's very good. It is a non-cash. That's why you're gonna add it up. Correct, na? Because your profit that is being shown, it is excluding this amount, but it should be there, na? Because it is not yet paid. Chakas. So you'll get an amount. This will be net profit after tax, because you have done some provisions. So while doing the provisions, you subtracted. Now you'll have to. So provision for tax. And then afterwards comes all that non-cash, all non-operating expenses. So expenses will be added and non-cash, non-operating incomes will be, that's common sense now, right?
Yes.
Too good. This is called as funds from operations.
Won't that be net profit before tax?
Yes, after adding the net profit before tax. Very good. Now what happens is your money is not only blocked or like it's not only used in the profit loss account. Now your money is actually blocked in the working capital also. Like for example, say you went to the bank and asked, okay, I want to start a business. I have all the amount that I require for setting up the business, but I want to run the business also. And for that, I will be requiring some money for buying the stock. If you have a business of shirts and also, you'll have to keep a stock of shirts. If I come any random day and ask you, like, I want a white shirt, so you can't tell me that come tomorrow, I'll go and buy some white shirt, and then after I'm going to show it to you, and then afterwards I'll be selling it to you. You'll have to keep the stock. So for white shirt also, you'll have to have 10 types: plain, printed, strips, off-white, white, in that quality. Perfect, na? Cotton, ye, wo, and all that. So here, what is happening? You will require some money for stock. So you go to the bank and tell him that, sir, I want money. So bank is going to ask you, boss, how much money do you want? So you'll ask, itna paisa chahiye. So your money, if you're taking a loan, so definitely funding to ho gaya. But what if you are like getting the amount from your place, from the business itself? So your money is also blocked in that stock. Correct, na? So if there is if you have a stock, you tell me one thing. If you have a stock at the year 1, I give you information year 2 also. You have a stock of 100 in the year 1 and you have a stock of 120 in year 2. So can I say you actually blocked your 20 rupees in the stock in the current year? You just got the stock, right? You'll have to make the payment also. So if you make the payment, can I say your cash goes out? And you are not going to get this 20 rupees unless you sell the block. So whenever your current, this is the current asset, na bro? Why it is a current asset? Because it is going to be then the business not for a longer time. Lovely. When I purchase kiya, I will be selling it within a year. And if it's not getting sold, I'll put it into sale. Discount and all. I'll try to like just so that I can bring the fresh stock, which is there in the trend and all. So this is the current asset. There are many current assets, huh? So so this is a very clear idea to you know. So whenever there is an increased amount in the current asset, my cash will flow out. So I'll have to subtract. Because whenever you are buying more stock, you'll have to make the payment. And whenever you make the payment, the paisa goes out. What if you had a stock of 100 and you have now stock of 90? So can I say you sold the stock and Are jhakas yaar, lovely ho tum. So one thing is very clear that whenever the current asset increases, I'll add the money because money is going to come in. Sorry, whenever the current asset increases, the money is going to go out. So I'm going to subtract it.
You can also let CA go, so then CL will come down.
You can say that. That's a lovely part that I was writing it just now. So you're going to add up when the current asset is going down, and the opposite. Whenever the current liability goes up, there is an inflow because you took a loan, na? There was a bank overdraft on you for 10,000. Now the bank overdraft is showing 15,000. So you actually took a loan of 5,000. So that's current liability increased. So whenever current liability increase, you're going to add it up. Pakki baat. And whenever the current liability decreases, you're going to make the payment. See, there was a creditor in front of you, and that was amounting to 80,000, and now the creditor stands at 60,000. So you have actually made a payment of 20,000. So payment is made. Paisa goes out. Do you understand this, Munna? Wonderful. So add and less. This is basically also called as changes in working capital. Changes in And I did not tell you in detail that whenever a current asset increases, the working capital also increases. And whenever the current asset decreases, the working capital also decreases. Because working capital is actually current assets minus, very lovely. You're not understanding this, man. Correct, now? So this is having a direct relationship. And this is having an inverse relationship. Because whenever you are like making a payment, na, so the cash goes up. Correct. So current assets and working capital, direct relationship. Current liability and working capital, wonderful. Okay, so whatever amount you're gonna get, that's your cash from CFO. बोलूं मैं इसको? Your handwriting समझ जाना, the format I'm not writing it very properly. And then whatever amount you're gonna get, you're gonna pay the taxes. This is the actual tax you're paying, huh? This is the why you're subtracting it? Because the money is going out. Are lovely, lovely. This becomes your one. That is your cash from operating activity. Any doubts? It's a simple thing, right? So 5 to 6 things, and you're done with this. So the next one is financing and the investing. I'm not gonna write that. नहीं है यार. If the liability increases, so you're gonna add up. If the liability decreases, it's gonna be subtracted, because here you are receiving the money and here you are making the payment. In investing, if you are purchasing anything, there is a purchase, so you're gonna subtract it, and there is a sale, you're gonna add it, because money comes in and goes out, inflow and outflow. That's it. I'm not gonna write inflow and outflow. I'm gonna write plus and minus. Examination, do not write that sign. Just write ADD and ADS, because they're gonna come after that. Add ESS. And then whatever you take a total of all these three things. Now this is the second one. This is the third one. You take a total of all these three. Now you'll get what is the net cash generated from the operations. Not from the operations, but from the total. Correct? This is the generation of the cash today. Huh? If you add up kal ka paisa, opening balance, you're going to get what is the amount you have in your pocket today. Lovely. Yes, actually you get the answer first, and then you like keep on seeing by what. So the answer is in the very first step. This, you just need to do the plus and minus and get to this answer. Correct now, bro? Wonderful. So that's your cash flow statement of pura format. Not written that properly, but I hope that every logic has been understood.